Hello, welcome to Miss Peepers Reading Corner. I'm Katrina, aka Miss Peepers. Let's talk about beauty. Today we're discussing The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. This book is also number 3 on the list of the top 10 most frequently banned books in the United States last year, according to the American Library Association, and it is tied with The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. In this debut novel, Toni Morrison explores the lives of several characters in a Black community, centering around the story of one Black girl named Pecola Breedlove, who prays every day for beauty. Very specifically, she wants to have blue eyes. These different storylines examine the nature of beauty through the lens of racial identity. So why was this book banned? Well, it contains sexual assault and incest, as well as consensual sex. And in a rare moment of saying the quiet part out loud, it has also been banned for having EDI content, EDI standing for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. Basically, because the author and the characters are Black, this book has been banned. Usually we don't get such honest reasons for banning, though I've said this many times throughout these videos and I will say it again, book banning does disproportionately affect marginalized communities. Even incredibly successful, well-known, and well-loved authors like Toni Morrison can find their books banned. So why should you read this book? First of all, Toni Morrison was and still is an American treasure. She wrote so beautifully about the Black experience, about the pains and joys of being human, about the injustices of American society, and also about the beauty of life. Whether it's this book or another of hers, please read something by Toni Morrison if you have not before. She's just so talented. Enough fangirling. This is also such an important discussion of the way that American society, in particular Western society, views beauty and what we consider to be default. While Morrison talks about American society in particular, we see this in other parts of the world as well, where whiteness is considered the beauty standard. The blue eyes, blonde hair, pale skin. You will of course see this in Western countries like the United States, like Europe, but you'll also see it in Asia. If you watch anime, for example, you'll see that a lot of the characters, even though many of them are meant to be Asian, they have pale skin, they have blonde hair, blue eyes. If you look at K-dramas, you see a lot of that as well. They are definitely Asian actors, but their skin is pale. And so we see these expressions of a default beauty standard as being white. And it's completely a societal construct. And that's something that Morrison is trying to get at in this novel, that Pecola thinks that she is ugly, and other people believe that too. But she's not really fully described physically, except that we know that she's Black. And she has the features of someone who is Black. And so that by itself is defined by this societal view as ugly, when we can't really trust that narration at all. We can't see her, so we don't know whether we would consider her to be an attractive child or not. And so it gets to this idea that society won't consider someone beautiful unless they have the correct skin color. And that's just so aggravating to me, because beauty should not be just defined by one Caucasian look. And so I think this book challenges the idea of what beauty is, of what is considered beautiful. And I'd love to read a bit of Morrison's introduction, her foreword to this book, where she talks about why she wrote it in the first place. The origin of the novel lay in a conversation I had with a childhood friend. We had just started elementary school. She said she wanted blue eyes. I looked around to picture her with them and was violently repelled by what I imagined she would look like if she had her wish. The sorrow in her voice seemed to call for sympathy, and I faked it for her, but astonished by the desecration she proposed, I got mad at her instead. Until that moment, I had seen the pretty, the lovely, the nice, the ugly, and although I had certainly used the word beautiful, I'd never experienced its shock. the force of which was equaled by the knowledge that no one recognized it, not even or especially the one who possessed it. It must have been more than the face I was examining, the silence of the street in the early afternoon, the light, the atmosphere of confession. In any case, it was the first time I knew beautiful, had imagined it for myself. Beauty was not simply something to behold, it was something one could do. The Bluest Eye was my effort to say something about that, to say something about why she had not, or possibly ever would have, the experience of what she possessed, and also why she prayed for so radical an alteration. Implicit in her desire was racial self-loathing, and 20 years later, I still wonder about how one learns that. Who told her? Who made her feel that it was better to be a freak than what she was? Who had looked at her and found her so wanting, so small a weight on the beauty scale? The novel pecks away at the gaze that condemned her. Now, this book was published first in 1970, and while things have improved, we still see this today. We still see questions about whether or not someone who does not fit certain ideals is beautiful. And a lot of times those beauty ideals are racially skewed. This book will have you questioning the assumptions of what is considered beautiful, and I hope that it will help you see more beauty in the people around you. So let me know in the comments, have you read The Bluest Eye or anything else by Toni Morrison? What did you think of it? And either way, whatever you do, please keep reading, and I will see you in the next one.